50 here. I know we're not doing these in, you're probably not watching them in order, but do question 50 and then I'm going to go cook some dinner. So let's look at question 50 right quick. We have a number line with some inequalities, and we've got to figure out which of the graphs represents x is less than -4 or x is greater than or equal to 1. Before we even start with the graphs, I want to talk mini lesson on inequalities. When we talk about it on a number line, when we have a x is going to be less than -4 and there's no equal to sign, so at -4 we should have an open circle. And then or x is greater than or equal to 1. So at 1 we should have what we call a closed circle, or it should be darkened in or filled in just like that, or what we call a closed circle. All right, so let's just look down at some of our answer choices and see if we can rule any of them out before we even start to talk about the graph itself. So we need an open circle at -4. And we look at answer choice A, and it is a closed circle at -4, so we can rule it out. B is an open circle at -4, so we leave that one. C is a closed circle at -4, so we're going to rule that one out. And D is an open circle at -4, so we're going to leave B and D to be possible choices. We'll move on now to x is greater than or equal to 1, and so we should have a closed circle at 1. All right, so we look and see which ones do we have a closed circle at 1, and we have a closed circle on B, and we have a closed circle on D at 1, so we can't rule any of those out. All right, so now let's talk about which way the lines are going to be going on the graph. Now this first one is x is less than or equal to -4. Well, anytime I don't have to deal with negative numbers, I try not to deal with them. So I'm going to deal with the positive number first and see if I can reconcile it, and maybe I won't even have to deal with that -4. All right, so I read this as x is greater than or equal to 1. So it's got the numbers have to be bigger than 1 or equal to 1. So I'm going to look at my graphs and I look at B. B is darkening in from the 1 with a closed circle, which is what we want, but it's going to 0. Well, 0 is less than 1, but I need it to be more than 1. So I'm thinking B is not, that's not the right answer. So now I come down to D and I look, and D is a closed circle at 1, which is what I want because it has the equal to a bar underneath the inequality. And then it goes to 2 and 3 and 4, and those are all greater than 1. So bingo, that's what I want. So I'm going to rule out B, and my answer is going to be D. Now I will, for the sake of argument, I will justify that that is the correct answer because I need x to be less than, that's the less than sign, -4. So if you think of what numbers are going to be less than -4, it would be negative numbers that are then bigger than 4. So -5, -6, those are less than. If I owe $4 and then I owe $5, well, I owed, less dollars. All right. So you can think of it that way, and that would give us our answer.